11:15 a.m. Good morning. How you doing? 409. Yes, I just happened to mention it, and because it was there. And how am I to know that it wasn't the right Kenny? Hey, seriously, dude. You do a lot of doc dropping, a lot of fake DMCAs. You'll admit it, and then you take it back. Kenny, I like you, and I have defended you a lot in the past. And the person that's playing your buddy's side right now, what's his name, is, be careful. Because at least I'll come out and I'll say, yeah, I did say that. Yeah, it was probably pretty stupid. It was. And what's going on between me and what's his name is between he and what's his name. You always point your finger at others, my friend, that aren't really committing any great crime and asking for their banning. When the finger and think to yourself here of what you do. In other words, stay in your house and look at yourself. You tattle about everything. You've done some pretty obnoxious things. And so have I. See, that's the point. Now, if you want to keep this little tattling bit up, go ahead. Keep a record. It makes you feel better. I was growing pot at age 13, and I got busted. Yeah. And back then in 1972, it was very serious. And I ended up having to do some time. Not real time. It was more of a strict, very probation and a little bit of juvie. It was a big deal since I was taking botany in a science class. I'm very good at botany. Very good at science, actually. I don't care what's his name says about me. Thank God. But he is cruel. And, I would take it personally if it was just me. But to be honest with you, he's mean to everybody. And I think it's up to each person to try and take a deep breath and say what they can, and without totally beating him up like he does everybody else. Now, I understand how you feel, but I have only mentioned your name twice. It was in the wrong. It was wrong. Other than that, Kenny, I don't say nothing about you. I really like Gloria. I like you. And it's sad, they have fun with it over there, and they're not doing it anymore. So they did stop. This wasn't very fun. Whether they pick on Skihan and what's that man's name? The other one right now. The most interesting villains on the tube, actually. Now we got bad boys, we got villains. Every site has something, but Kenny, you can't keep on getting online and saying you can't fight on Frank's site. Well, yes, you can. I can't tell you not to, but I'd rather Frank come and beat on my door and say, knock it off. And he doesn't even yell at me. He's very, very polite. He's very polite with you. He's very polite with everybody. Oh, man. Just make a little list, and tell Frank what I've been doing at Oasis and YouTube and everything, The man knows what's going on at all times. He seriously does. He's smart. And, Lauri's got ears. She's got eyes. Frank's got ears and eyes. He's an owner. I believe every owner of all sites keep things, you know, they don't let it totally get out of hand. And also, iTubes is a troll site. I call it Troll College. I really don't troll. I get a little upset, but oh, and I showed my breasts one day. Yeah. Which I'm sure everyone heard about all over the internet. So basically, you know, I think I'd rather just give you my brother's address and you can write him a complaint letter. And then he'll make sure it gets onto his the rest of the family and they'll say, see, we told you so. Maybe that'll make you feel better. Might. You're rather volatile. Anyway, so seriously, Ken, think about it. You can't, it just, yeah. That's when people get a little upset and say, why are you telling on us? Why are you telling us not to do something? You know? I never said anything about your DMCAs. Is that dumb MCAs? I don't know. That whole system is really screwy that could happen anyway, but it did. So, on that note, I'm going to let you go because this is just crazy. And you're not crazy, but the subject itself is kind of nuts. So, the stuff that's going on right now has nothing to do with you. It has to do with verbal assault, and it does. So, enough said about that. You got your thing. They got their thing. I got my thing. Real proud of you and your game. I think you're doing a really good thing. What more do you want me to do? Make cookies? I'll send Bandy the cookies. Okay. Anything else? Oh, I'm sure someone, what's his name, will like to put more comments in.